Another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. This time out, I would like to bring to your attention two really riveting works of nonfiction that are very highly recommended. The very first book is Walking Away from Hate, Our Journey Through Extremism by Jeanette and Lauren Manning. This is published by Tidewater Press and it retails for $23.95. It is a book that is very, very engrossing. If it was a fiction book, you would read it nonstop. Well, this is one nonfiction book that you will want to read nonstop. It is the story of, one girl's journey through the world of white supremacist groups. The girl's name is Lauren, and it all seemed to begin when her father died of leukemia back in 2006. A massive part of her life was ripped away from her, and she reacted in many ways. One of them was she was cutting herself with a blade as a means of coping. And as time progressed and she got online, she went to various groups, Facebook groups that had music. And then she was contacted by people who, they didn't, they had their best of intentions, and she kind of liked them because they gave her the attention that she was craving. The only problem was they were part of white supremacist groups that hated Jews and black people. And she fell into the clutches in many ways of the group. Now, you can't say she was exactly brainwashed, but her way of thinking was totally changed. And she became engrossed in this group, and there were people in the group who she looked up to. They became her role models. Some even became her boyfriends. And her mother knew that something had changed with Lauren, and she stuck by her. She did not give up on her. Now, the book is told in alternating chapters, one by Lauren and then by Jeanette. And it is very engrossing, the dynamics of the mother-daughter interplay, really. Like I said, Jeanette never gave up on Lauren as Lauren got deeper and deeper into the white supremacist groups. She went to the meetings. She was also known as the enforcer. And at times the book is it's difficult to read, but it's still honest and open. And the one thing that changed Lauren was when her friend Jan died. She saw his death as a pivotal turning point in her life as to what she really wanted. Now, much of her life was drugs and alcohol, and she needed money, and her mother sent her money. A boyfriend even said that she needed money, and she sent it thinking Lauren was going to get it. Well, the boyfriend got the money. So like I say, this is a very, very engrossing book. It should be required reading in high schools, and required reading for people who want to understand these white supremacist cultures and how they take people, very innocent minds, and they craft them into something that is almost evil. So you cannot go wrong with reading this book, Walking Away from Hate, because once you read it, you will walk away with a profound amazement at Lauren's life now and how she changed totally. The second book that I would like to draw to your attention is MANIAC, The Bath School Disaster and the Birth of the Modern Mass Killer by Harold Schechter. This is published by Little A, and it retails for $21.95. There have been a lot of school massacres in the history of the United States. And one that is forgotten is the Bath, Michigan mass murder at a school back in 1927. And one of the reasons why people think that this was forgotten and it didn't receive the media attention at the time that it should have was Charles Lindbergh was at the same time planning his flight over the transatlantic. This was a history-making flight, and because of that, that got the front page news, and in many ways made people forget about this Bath, Michigan school disaster. The person who was the perpetrator of the crime was Andrew Kehoe. He was a farmer in the community. He was on the school board of the school that he eventually blew up, and he was also a town clerk who was defeated in his attempt for re-election. One of the things that upset him was the fact that he had to pay school taxes and he could barely afford the mortgage on his farm. So that was really the catalyst for his rampage at buying tons of explosives. And he set them inside the school. He also put them on his farm. He killed his wife before he came to the school with his plot to kill as many people as possible. The day of the bombing, he called out the school superintendent to his car. The man came to his car, and as the man came out, he detonated the bomb in the car, killing himself and the school superintendent. And there was a timer for the school to also bombs, explosives to detonate inside the school. And it was one explosive after another that really tore apart the school. 45 people died that day, 38 children and 7 adults. And the town was never the same. Actually, Bath is very close to Lansing, Michigan, and the school was rebuilt, but the memories were still there. Like I say, unfortunately, it is a lost massacre in U.S. history, and it is the biggest amount of killing at one time in a school. So this is definitely, MANIAC is a really difficult book to read, as you will see the ascent into madness of one man who was a decent man at one time, but as time progressed he became angrier, and his hatred for his fellow man, the community, and the world in general escalated. So those are the 2 books that I wanted to draw to your attention this week. Hopefully, when you're out looking at your local bookstore, these 2 books are books you will definitely consider purchasing, because they're certainly worth your time. So thank you once again for watching Shelf Life Video Reviews Online, and as always, please send me your comments. So until the next time we meet, stay social distancing, stay safe, stay sane, and above all, please stay in touch. Thanks for now. Bye-bye.